Hello everyone. I'm hoping that you can hear me. If you can hear me, a thumbs up if you're proficient at using Zoom, or if not, maybe just putting on your video so I can see that you can hear me. Got a few people with a thumbs up. That gives me a good indication that you can hear me. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Annika, Darlene. Thank you. Awesome. It's lovely to see you all. So it's 12:02 and it's probably a good time for us to start, everyone. Just a little bit of an introduction. My name is Belinda. I'm going to be running the session for you today. It's between 12 and 12:30, so we've just got a good half an hour session on how to use a Prowise Presenter application for collaboration. Now, just so you're aware, this session is recorded for any of our colleagues that are on class at the moment and cannot access the session at the moment. So just so you are aware, that is happening. And I really thank you for your time today. So I'm running this conference, as you know, through Zoom, and I'm creating my virtual classroom from the safety of my home and also in the safety of your own spaces, or whether you're in your classes at the moment, or, you know, some people are at their home. So it's a wonderful platform to use in collaboration with the Prowise Presenter application. So I really hope you get a lot out of today's session. We've got about 20 people on, which is great. So let's get started. But just a little bit about me. I think I'm very familiar with a lot of the names on today, and I'm pretty sure I've done training with quite a few of you before, so that's really, really great to see you on board again. I'm a school teacher like you. I'm on leave from the Department of Education, so I know everything schools. I've had 15 plus years in Department of Education, and it's what I do, it's what I love. But at the moment, for the last year and a half, I've been, you know, working with Prowise, ELB Electra Board, pushing Prowise the Presenter application and showcasing how awesome it is to use in education. So that's just a little bit about me. So let's get started. So I'm hoping that you've already got your Prowise Presenter accounts ready, and going based on a lot of the names that I see today, I'm pretty sure a few of you, or quite a lot of you are, and also would be very proficient at using the application too, which is great. So just so you're aware, this session will be recorded and put up on the ELB Electra Board Education Australia site. If you haven't joined our Facebook, I suggest you do join our Facebook. If you can like our page, if you are on Facebook, you'll get updated with the latest webinars, latest professional development sessions, recordings, resources, etc. And it's just a great opportunity for you to touch base with other teachers as well. We're also on LinkedIn. So if you just access any of those sites that are in front of you at the moment, just maybe like them later, or, you know, just visit them, so that you can keep an eye on the thread and conversations that are happening with teachers in the world of Prowise Presenter. Okay, so now let's start the collaboration session. I'm going to model it for you. I'm going to send you out some resources so that you have a manual to support you in the end of all this. And there's also some really great places where you can access some support. Now, like I suggested before, the Facebook, I've already recorded a how to create a session, and I've actually physically doing it while I'm recording it. So you can also go back and visit that. There are so many resources on our Facebook with lots of different parts of the application. So please go back and visit that in your own time. So collaboration, well, let's all collaborate today. We're going to collaborate, and I'm going to show you how to collaborate on one presentation. Now, you can get your students working from anywhere, at home, in the classroom, or your colleague next door, all working on one particular file in real time. Give them feedback, have suggestions, but there's just so many possibilities, and I'm going to create that today and model for you how simple and easy it is, and it's all completely for free. Now, to access Prowise Presenter, I would just simply go over to search for Prowise Presenter. Now here you'll see I've just searched for Prowise Presenter, and I've got an option here where it says Prowise Presenter 10. Now, to open up the Prowise Presenter application, I'm simply going to go over to Start Presenter. Now, when I go over to Start Presenter, I've got an option of Presenter 9 or 10. What's very important for you to be aware of is that the Prowise Presenter collaboration tool is only available in 10. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've spent a bit of time with some of my colleagues online today. In the past, I may have trained you on 9. 9 is still current. It's, you know, it's got some wonderful tools, but we're all transitioning over to 10. Now, anything you've created on 9, you can use in 10. However, not all the features from 9 have transitioned over to 10 yet, but they will. Most of the features will transition over to 10, and so you'll be able to continue to use your work in 10. The reason Prowise have created 10 is it doesn't require Flash, and at the end of the year, we're not going to be able to use Flash, and Prowise Presenter 9 requires Flash. There's some huge improvements in 10 too. So just to be mindful of that. Now we're going to use Presenter 10 today. Now I spoke to one of my colleagues that's online with us today earlier. There is no app for Presenter 10. You simply go to the browser and you access it the way I'm just doing now. I've gone into the browser, I've searched for Presenter, I've clicked on Start Presenter, and I'm going to simply open up Presenter 10. Now when I open up Presenter 10, it will look like this. A complete blank page, just like you see just here. Okay, so that's Presenter 10 for you. So that just gives you an idea. Make sure you're not trying to access it through 9, it needs to be through 10. Okay, now for you to actually access the collaboration tool, I just want to bring to your attention a few resources when you're here at the collaboration, when you're here at, Prowise Presenter 10. I'm going to bring to your attention the top right-hand side. Just over here where my mouse is scrolling, you'll see I've got 3 lines. If I click on those 3 lines, I've got an option to open up My Prowise. Now, this is a wonderful resource for you to find anything Prowise Presenter. I go to it for myself quite a lot to support me in using the application myself. So I go over to My Prowise. When I go over to My Prowise, it's just loading for me. When I go over to the My Prowise site, oh, I've got an error. Apologies, I'll do that again. When I go over to the My Prowise website, this is what I'll be able to open. Now you'll see here, you've got lots of different possibilities. You've got Discover and Learn, lots of different lessons that teachers have created, news. There's a multitude of resources on how to use the Presenter application. I mean, there's just quite a lot there. But what I'm going to do, because our focus today is collaboration, is I'm simply going to go over to the right-hand side where I'm scrolling at the moment, and I'm going to simply put in collaboration, which I've already done, and I'm going to search for it. Now you'll see just over here, Prowise have created a collaboration resource. I'm going to send that to you as a PDF, but you can also access it yourself today after our session by simply opening up collaboration. It tells me a little bit here about the collaboration. I can download a PDF manual. It tells me about the possibilities, you know, the process, etc. And you've just got all this information there. Now, please be mindful, there are so many different resources you can access by going to the My Prowise website. And you saw how simple it was for me to just simply go over to Presenter 10 and just go over to My Prowise. So I'm going to model that I'm going to show you that today, just before we go into the session. Okay. Alrighty. Well, actually, no, I might actually show you that now. Since we're, oops, sorry, I'm just going to go back to it, back over to My Prowise. Might actually be a good time to just show you now. Search back in here for collaboration. Oops. Okay, so when I'm in my Prowise Presenter page, I create my lesson. And then after I create my lesson, I've just got a PDF that's just downloaded for me. After I create my lesson, I'm simply going to add participants. Now, when I'm in the page, I'm going to show you that I'm just going to click on Start Collaboration. Once I start collaboration, I'll be instructed to save my document. Most important thing is that you save your document, because otherwise you cannot use the collaboration feature. So Prowise support you there and make sure your stuff is all safe. You will then be prompted to put in the email addresses of the people that you want to collaborate with. Now I'm going to do that with one of my colleagues online today. and maybe hopefully a teacher or two that might want to join our session as well. So I just simply put in my colleagues' email addresses, put in the students or anyone else that you're interested in putting in there, send a little message, and they will then receive it in their email, and it will look like this. It'll say a Prowise Presenter presentation has been shared with you, and you just simply click, if I'm inviting you, for example, to access the collaboration session. It's as simple as that. Now I'm going to model how to do that for you today, but just remember this resource is available and I will email that to you as well. Okay, so let me just go over to my session. Now I'm back into Prowise Presenter and I've simply created my lesson today. So my lesson here is for all of you wonderful adults out there. Let's have a chat. Let's find something positive here. How are you finding lockdown? Now, all I've done is I've just simply inserted some images. As Prowise Presenter has direct links to Google Image Library. I found I Googled lockdown and a few other things. Now, you might be finding lockdown very positive. You might be finding lockdown a little bit difficult, exhausting, relaxing, lots of different options. So I've simply created my lesson. Now to invite you, my participants, to a session. So I'm going to model exactly how to do that. Now on the bottom left-hand side, you'll see a little folder. I'm going to click on that folder and I'm going to start collaboration. Now remember, the presenter application is going to prompt me to save it first. So I'm going to start collaboration, and like it showed us in the PDF, I need to start it first, save it first. So click save. You'll see it's starting to save it for me. Now I need to invite my participants to the session. Now I have a colleague online. Ian, I'm hoping that you'll join me today, so I'm going to invite you. If you can get on, that'd be great. And I'm also going to invite my colleague, Phoebe. Actually, Jane, I see you're on, so. Says typo, F-L-A-N. Okay, and I'll just put in test because today's the test. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send that invitation out to those people. Now, Phoebe knows that she's getting an invite. Ian, it was a surprise for you. You're more than welcome if you're interested. Jane, you've done this before, so if you'd like to, that'd be great. Type user error. I'm currently on page 6, so you'll also have to access my session on page 6. Now here I am in my collaboration session. Now my 3 colleagues that I emailed, they are going to get a message in their inbox if they're near their computer at the moment, and which they probably are, or they may be receiving it through their mobile phone, etc. I'm just going to simply ask you to join the session with me right now. And please help me answer some questions here. How are you finding lockdown? Now, you've got lots of different tools in Presenter. I'm going to type, so I'm going to click on my typing tool. And I'm going to just write my response. I'm finding it relaxing. Now I can adjust my font size here. I can adjust the color of my font, etc. Might just place it in here. In a moment, hopefully I see one or two of my colleagues collaborate and add some information onto my page. That would be great. Now what you'll see is when they're on their side doing this, you'll see a lock will come up, and it will allow me to understand that they're actually in this particular space, and that I can't actually write in that particular space. What I might do is ask Phoebe, possibly, and Jane, if you could unmute. I can see someone here, and Ian, you're more than welcome to if you're interested. I could see someone's writing in this particular space, but if we could possibly see your video, or you could unmute self-care. I can see someone's written that and they're moving it. That's wonderful. Any other contributions would be great. Oh, and if someone that's actually on the collaboration session at the moment, could you possibly move one of my images from one spot to the other? Just any of my little icons. I may have locked them, so you might just have to unlock them. Okay, someone's moved, say, a self-care. I can also move someone's self-care, but maybe just one of the images there. One of the smiley faces. Okay, for me, I find it, okay, wonderful. So we've got a lovely puppy. Someone's inserted a puppy and moved it from one spot to the other. I can also take it and work with it. I could possibly resize it, and I could add a sound to it. For example, I might add an animal sound. Oops. I could add an animal sound to it, or I might just leave it like that for the moment. So you can actually see that we've got a few members at the moment. Someone's inserted an image, someone's got some text in there, and there's so many possibilities here when you're creating a session where you're asking the students to collaborate. Now, if any of my any participants, if there's anyone on that would like me to connect them, you're more than welcome to unmute, give me your email address. We've got about 22 participants, but happy to invite you if anyone wants me to invite them. Just unmute and just give me your address. No, that's okay. Anyway, at least I think people get the idea of how to simply collaborate in this session. Phoebe or Jane, if you're on, if you want to move anything for me, just move something from one place to another, just so we can actually see there's lots of movement going on. That would be wonderful. And that's pretty, thank you. That's very lovely to see. We've moved relaxing from one place to the other. Maybe go over to one of my images, maybe the dog, whoever inserted the dog, and then maybe just enlarge that for me. If you just click on it or move it, okay, wonderful. So you can see that there's lots of things going on here, and we've got a live document. Now, what I simply do after that, and you'll see that it's locked because someone's doing something with it. What I can simply do after this is, I can save this session so I can go back and I can work on it another time. I might finish this lesson and, revisit it with the students next time we meet. Thank you to the people that are on at the moment. And that was supporting me modeling this session. But that's just pretty much as simple as our collaboration session is. Now, I have the option now to stop the session. So if I simply go over back to the folder, just on the left-hand side here, if I click on that, you'll see that I have an option to invite more participants. If I wanted to add anyone else, I can simply go in there, but there were no takers today. We've got lots of people that just want to learn from the side, and that's wonderful. And now we've got someone that's just physically moved. Thank you for moving things. I can see that lots of my images are getting moved across the page. Now, I haven't stopped the session yet. If I had gone to stop collaboration, my colleagues that are connected at the moment will not be able to keep on collaborating in the session. The document will not be live. So because I'm the one that initiated the session, I have the power to stop the collaboration session. So I can stop the session or invite more participants, but for the moment, I'm just going to simply stop the collaboration session. So if I go stop session, it's going to tell me that once participants will no longer be able to contribute, and then I'm just simply going to go stop collaboration. Now it will automatically save everything that we have done in that collaboration session. It has just given me a prompt here to tell me that the session has stopped and we can no longer collaborate, and I go to understand. Now it'll automatically save it, and I'll need to go back and open my collaboration session. So I'm just going to go into here, and you'll see that everything that we've done will come up here on the page that we were working on. I believe we were working on page 6, just waiting for my presentation to load. And then you'll see everything here is all saved. So we can always go back now and we can revisit and you know, take off our learning from where we left off. So that just shows you simply how you can access and simply create a collaboration session. All you needed to do was put your colleagues or your students' email address in there, simply copy and paste them, and then that way the students can contribute, or the teachers can contribute to the session. Now remember, where you can access the collaboration information, like I showed you, if you just go to the My Prowise site, which is just on the top right hand side when you're in Prowise Presenter 10, an awesome resource that you'll not only need to use for collaboration, but on anything else in Prowise Presenter. There's just so many things there that can help you, and lots of already developed teacher files. Now they're not Australian teaching files, but we're teachers. We can use resources from anywhere, and we can, you know, tailor them to suit our outcomes. That's where you access the My Prowise resources. For us as teachers, so if we have a few minutes left, I'm just going to simply go over to Australian teachers. We're going, for us to access our documents of ready-made resources, I'd be going to File, Open, and I'd be going to the Community Resources. Here is where you're going to find Australian resources created by Australian teachers with our Australian curriculum outcomes. These are the places where you're going to find them. Over here in My Prowise is a wonderful place for you to find resources on the Prowise Presenter application, but there are also lots of different lessons there that you can access and you know, just tweak them to suit your outcomes. Now that's pretty much our session. We've finished a few minutes early, which is wonderful. Like I said, I'm Belinda. I'm from ELB Electroboard Education, and we're going to be running sessions on the Prowise Presenter application every Monday and Thursday. Please log in. You can access us through Facebook, and we will also be sending out emails to schools as well, so that you can link in and access our learning program. I hope you have a lovely, safe afternoon. We have a few minutes left. If there's anyone that would like to have a little bit of a chat online or anything else that I can support you with, happy to do so. Otherwise, I really hope that you have a wonderful afternoon.
Can we ask questions, Belinda?
Of course, Sharon, we've got time.
Fabulous. So with our senior classes, in terms of entering our emails, will it save that email list in the program, or do we have to type them in every time?
I think you'd need to copy and paste and put them in. I don't think they're just going to sit there. I mean, that's from my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then most of us have been creating our lessons on Google Docs. Can we just move those over into this format for the kids?
They're completely different. The Prowise Presenter application is really just a teaching tool for you to create. I mean, you can access them through Google Docs by, you know, with the links to open up your presentations, but they don't marry.
Okay.
They don't marry across.
Okay, sorry, I'm a bit tech challenged. So can I move Word documents over? You just got to make it from scratch, sort of thing.
Oh, you can import files in here. Let me show you how you can import files.
Yes.
So if I'm just going to go over to the bottom left. So have a look where I'm going to File.
Yep.
I'm going to Import. Now, any of these file formats can be imported into the presentation.
Okay.
So you can import your Microsoft applications in here, your PDFs, Smart Notebook files, etc. So it's as simple as that. I can put in any document in there that is any of those formats. Google Classroom and in a Microsoft suite, I suppose, is teachers are using obviously as a programming tool, you know, sequencing lessons, etc. These, I suppose, Prowise Presenter is the actual lesson itself.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Belinda, I have a question.
Hi, Annika.
Hi. Just, I guess for logistics, we're going back, I guess, next week, and we're obviously for social distancing purposes, we're going to have classes in separate rooms. So my understanding is if I have a Prowise in my room and I have my class split 10 kids in one room, 10 kids in, say, room 6. down the hallway. What would need to then happen for students to see the same unit of work that they'd be working on, same class, two separate Prowises in two separate rooms, is that possibly the teacher possibly supervising in one of the other rooms would need to have a Prowise account, or I would simply go to collaboration, I would put in their email address, they would then be able to open up this collaboration for the other class to see the work that is up on the board. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Forgive me in case I've missed something there. So, but to access Prowise Presenter, so the people that I invited to the session today, to access my collaboration session, you have to have a Prowise Presenter account. So
Presenter 10 account.
Yeah, Presenter 10 account, and it's for free, and the kids can have them. You can organize school accounts, or you could even push them out, individually to devices, just like I've done with two of my colleagues, or three of my colleagues today. So all you need is a Prowise Presenter account. Now, if you're in class A or class B, or you're next door to each other, you can still be working on that same document as long as you've just got the Prowise Presenter account. If you want to be able to see each other, obviously you'd need a webcam. So you can access, and maybe you can physically see each other.
Yeah.
But if you're just sharing the content on the panel, you just need the Prowise Presenter account.
So that's all, and that's obviously just through a normal Chrome streaming service or whatever. So even if we have, say, a Combox, which isn't a Prowise board, but we've got Combox or a Neo board or a range of different types of boards within our school, as long as we open Prowise 10, we pop in the name of the teacher or the student, wherever they are in the school, they'll be able to see that same one unit of content.
Yeah, the Prowise Presenter application can be used on any panel, any device. I mean, it has its advantages when it's with one of the Prowise touch screens. There's a lot more features and things that you can do, but you can still view it. Now, the thing is, whether they're single touch or multi-touch, our panels, have got some different capabilities. With touch and how many people can use it at the one time, etc. But as for using it the way you've seen it today, if you've got people with little keyboards or whatever the case is, it's absolutely doable.
Yeah, but if I've created a Google Doc or a Google Slide or anything from the Google Suite or the G Suite, I would need to pop that possibly into a Word or a PowerPoint or something that's more of the Microsoft suite in order for it to work well on the Prowise.
Well, to import it into Prowise Presenter, it has to be one of those formats.
Okay, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Annie, sorry, and Belinda as well. The kids, I imagine the kids will have their own laptops in the classrooms, as you said, Belinda, and if they have the Prowise 10 stuff, they'll be able to access what we're doing and interact. So there's kind of two areas here. There's the lesson in front of you on the board where you're in the classroom and you're just learning from that. Or they have their own keyboards in front of them, each student, in the senior classes at least, and they're interacting with you.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's just, that's a capability of the software. They can absolutely do that. Yeah. And if they just have an account. Now, I don't know if you've attended a session on ProConnect. Have I run a session with you at all on ProConnect?
Not that I've been to.
Okay.
I feel like you have, Belinda, at some point, right in the
Annika, you and I have I worked with you, Annika, before?
Yeah, about 2 or 3 times, yeah.
Yeah. Sharon, have we worked together?
I did. I went to one of your sessions when I first got Prowise, because I have a board in my room that I use. Yeah. Maybe it was called Connect. It was really good, and I love the board, but I can't remember if it was a Connect session. So.
Yeah, because ProConnect has some wonderful options as well on pushing out work from one place to another, and not in this remote learning possibilities, etc. And that sounds like something that you might want to look at. Now, we just did a session last week or earlier this week, and that's also on our Facebook. But I'm really happy to send you out some information, or maybe just to support you moving forward in using that feature, because it sounds like it's something that you might want to do.
Yeah, for the kids to be able to add to the lesson and be interactive in real time while it's happening, I think is a really good idea for engagement, rather than just having it in front of them on a board and they're just watching it like a lecture. I think if they can interact with us, it'll help keep them engaged.
I think so. And the Prowise Presenter Pro Connect option sounds like that could be something that would be wonderful. You can share quizzes, you can share voting options, you can share screens. There's so many possibilities. And I mean, then you've got this collaboration tool in itself.
Yeah.
So I'm just writing down your names so I can get you both through DET.
Thanks, Belinda.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, everyone. Annika, Sharon, I'll reach out to you. And I hope you have a lovely afternoon, everyone. And thank you so much for your time. And keep in touch. You're always able to access us through our Facebook, and always happy to run more professional development sessions for you and your school if you need anything. So just let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely afternoon.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
You disconnected?
Yeah.
All right, don't take my juice in the fridge.
Oh, give me some.
Oh.